What's good, y'all? Hope everybody's living well and staying blessed. It's your boy, Marcus B. As always, I'm joined with the one and only Mr. Evan Simmons and new guy, Chris. This is episode 102 of Holla at Me with yours truly. And today, me and the boys sat down, caught up on each other's week. I went through my first anxiety attack, I think, and that was less than ideal. So we talked about that and the things that I'm feeling about it. Teaching's hard, folks. General things about teaching and what we're feeling with the year. And then we have this conversation about the superior breakfast bread, and it is English muffins. And I will fight you about it if you disagree.
Wrong.
As you can hear, it is still thundering and lightning out here in Temple Land, so hopefully we don't drown. Anyways, I hope you guys like what we're doing out here. If you do, make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe on all things social media. Help us out with the algorithm. All those things help. Please and thank you. If you need any protein supplements, anything gym related, go to Redcon1 and then check out under tier operator. Use T20 Marcus B. And you will help support the podcast. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Peace.
How's your day?
It was weird, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have dealt with as many people as I have having anxiety and panic attacks.
Right.
Because I kind of knew how to. Because I know how to like calm them down, get the breathing back in check, and kind of get a little bit more relaxed. And because of that, I started having an anxiety attack today.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this what it feels like? This is awful.
So, not a good feeling.
It's not a good feeling.
Not a good feeling. Well, not a good feeling at all. Because you're like was your vision like tunneling and
No,
you short
it's
of breath?
really just like a chest thing and like a shortness of breath.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I did anything today. We had PSAT and we were in our fourth period, and I don't have a fourth period, so I was just kind of sitting there. So I was like doing grades and blah blah blah, and then I go just like,
Oh boy.
and I tried like taking a seat and like laying down and like trying to calm it down.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. So we'll see.
Yeah. Do you want to get into why? We can leave that for or we can. Or we can
I mean,
talk
by the
about,
time this comes out,
Yeah.
we'll be
done.
We're good for tomorrow, right?
It dropped?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still got a little bit more to do.
All right. And yeah, so I mean, this is going to come out in a week, so
Yeah.
I think this is the reason, and I haven't had too much like time to
Unpack it.
unpack it.
Yeah.
But excuse me, what's the word I'm looking for? Akin, my identity.
Your forte.
Yeah, the things
Yeah.
that I thought I was good at was
Yeah.
salsa band and marching. Things I was known for in college band.
You're
in
like-
college was salsa band.
Marcus gave me this
And marching.
salsa band. Marching
Those are
band
the
guy.
two things. Like, I taught good marching, and I played in salsa band for 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
So cool. Those are the things I'm going to be nails at. Everything else, we'll work on.
We'll work on this.
But those two things, I was like,
Yeah.
that should be nails. And I've always had like, now looking at it, putting together salsa band is actually really difficult. If you're trying to do a full.
Yeah. Because you have to, salsa band, you kind of have to create a culture of salsa band. Like,
It's not even that. It's like quite literally like instrumentation.
I mean, because like what do you need?
It's ideally you have 3 percussion, piano, bass, 2 2 bone, 2 trumpet, alto, tenor.
So like even like your jazz band kids, like if the highlighters,
Yeah.
like, plus like 2 percussionists,
Basically.
like
Basically, yeah.
yeah,
And I was always kind of able to get the instruments.
yeah,
The instruments were never a difficult thing, but I didn't realize how fortunate I was at Texas State. To the entire time I was there was just crazy Latin singers,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and that's not something that like I took into account for that. People don't know how to do that.
You're right. Yeah,
And people don't want to do that.
Yeah, teaching the people like having like Megan and Cameron like be like, hey, do you know kids that sing in Spanish
Yeah.
really well? Like they might have one.
1 or 2 maybe. So
Yeah,
I've had I've put together the salsa band every year, but it's never quite been like full blown program.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I was able to kind of get past that. I was like, yeah, it's hard. I got to create a culture. Got to get kids interested in it.
Right.
The only reason why I was getting after it when I went there is because I grew up dancing. So like I
Yeah.
understand that if that's not part of your culture, it's gonna be hard to figure out the style and this, that, or whatever.
yeah. Because especially if like something I'm trying to figure out right now too is like, how do you create a culture of like everyone does this or everyone wants to do this if it doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't exist, like how do you create that? Yeah, that's a hard bit to do.
So, yeah, super cool.
And and then feet. Yeah, that's like rolling in right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is episode 2 of Rain. There's
Yeah,
like a light.
we're
There's like
about
a
to
light
get-
rumble across that entire
Yeah.
like episode. It's very
Back
weird.
to back hundreds episodes.
Yeah, I was adding that one, and there was that one part where it was like a thundering for like a solid 15 seconds.
Yeah,
Just, you hear every bit of it.
it's a good time.
I guess nobody out in LA has to deal with that. They don't really have weather out there.
Yeah, but they also don't have water, so I'm gonna go with water.
Water's good. So, although I could not make salsa band happen to the level that I wanted to,
Right.
not a big deal. I understand. And plus, I'm only able to do it second semester because, the evenings are so filled with everything else fall semester
Right.
that there's just physically not any time
Right.
to do it. So, and then you couple that with the marching side of things. I just am realizing different things about where I was in the marching world.
Go on that.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean?
I didn't realize how much I was not the lead guy.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you kind of thought whenever they hired you, it's like, all right, you're teaching marching band.
Yeah, like when I taught indoor, when I teched for marching bands, when I did all the stock college things.
Yeah.
Even though I was head of visual, and even though there was quite a few blocks that like I would run,
Yeah.
I was never just as simple as saying like, "Hey, get to D today." Like
Yeah.
I didn't come up with what the end goal was,
I see. Yeah.
but I was the teacher. I taught the entire thing.
Right,
I
yeah.
was like, "Yo, when you do this, this is how you're gonna move your body. This is the choreo that goes during these 16 counts. This is how it goes."
Right.
So like, really easy to think like, oh no, like I have a really strong grasp on teaching a program.
Yeah. Okay.
But you missed
Yeah.
that first step of like, hey, get to D today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a really important step to consider.
Like if you're not in charge of the goal setting of the program, that's a different.
Yeah.
That's like a different. That's like a different part of the job.
100% different part of the job, and that's what I'm realizing. Is that
because you can do all the teaching in the world, like so you can, it's like that clinician thing. Like you can just be a clinician, like because like at the rate you're working at, it's kind of like you're. Sometimes it feels like you're like a clinician. You just come in and people are like, you said that like last year when you had that one rehearsal where you
I ran the music.
Everyone was like, "Thank you." You're just like, this is just
this is what it is,
right? Like
yeah. But and then I didn't realize like nobody told me what to do for that rehearsal last year.
Right.
So I just chose something.
Right.
And cleaned that.
Right.
As opposed to this year where
some goals weren't like determined beforehand. Like
overall goals weren't determined beforehand.
Right, okay.
And unclear ideas of where we were going to be at X, Y, and Z mark.
I see, yeah.
Right. And there are legitimate reasons for that. It's the first time that we have done after school rehearsals.
Right. Yeah. The amount of things I've heard about like the sheer just like circumstances.
Yeah.
So
like I'm really against. Oh, Doc, what are you looking at the weather for? It's raining sideways.
Also from last year being like a super easy,
and that too. Not realizing how thin last year was.
Yeah, like because the kids were like, a bunch of 16 count sets, and we're playing music at 4/4 time. Dude.
Everything's at 1:26, man.
Right, like it's just gonna like that's super easy to do.
Yeah.
And if you think the kids were successful with that last year because it was so just like manageable.
And the issue with my memory thing of just legitimately not remembering stuff.
Yeah.
I went back to last year and I was like, all right, cool, man. I didn't consider the fact that it was an easy year because it was an easy year. I was like, oh, it was just an easy show. Like, all right, we're going to get real music, but they're still going to be able to manage it just like they did last year. I was like, oh, wait, no. Like, that's...
Right.
That wasn't real music.
Right.
You were going 8-bar phrases, backbeat.
Right, yeah.
Like, that was legitimately part of the show was stuff like that. So I was like, oh, yeah, they're still, quality musicians. They'll learn it in the exact same amount of time with real music.
Because, the thing is, like, not to dog on, like, 2A, but you were playing, like, a 2A show.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And, you played a 2A show well, but, like, it's also a 2A show.
And it was programmed to be, like, a 2A show, so that way if anybody...
Not dies. If anyone is out, if half a section...
out for 2 weeks.
Half a section's out. That's
like, it's not going to be detrimental to where it's something like this week. Like, there's been a couple times where... it's always an issue if anybody in battery misses.
Right.
But, like, if half the saxophones don't show up on a jazz show, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like my freshman year when Medina kicked out all the lower half of the woodwind section from a game.
Yeah.
And it was a jazz... One of the movements was jazz heavy. I don't remember the song.
Oh, boy.
Exactly. But all the saxophones go up to the front and are circled around a mic. So it was just the altos for that football game playing the sax.
Solely type deal.
Alto 1 and 2 lines. Just a bunch of high.
Just kind of awkward harmonies.
Alto 2 just kind of playing flat nines for no reason. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, so I just things that I did not consider from last year going into this year.
Yeah.
As I was writing for it and I was doing all this, and
because the assumption was that we were going to be able to pick up right back where we left off, in theory.
We're gonna be able to pick up because we didn't have to take the year off.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we didn't take that much of a step back, so us just giving some real music to chew on
Right.
Shouldn't be that big a deal.
Right.
Turns out it was. Turns out the issue with having 3 good musicians as directors is that it's really easy to overlook difficulties in individual parts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely times where you're like, it was definitely when I was teaching flute sectionals, I was like, are we sure about that? Like, I was like, eh.
Yeah. You don't realize that it's a lot when it was a lot. And
Yeah. I think I might have. Oh, I don't think I ever mentioned that. I should have mentioned that. Being like, is this all supposed to be an up an octave? Like, it's all. I know it's flute, but like, I'm also not like a flute player, so I don't really know like flute marching music. Like, but I'm like pretty sure it shouldn't be all like up the octave.
Yeah.
I'm like none of it was in the staff. Like, it was like entire like movements where I was like, all this is a. The flute sounds good. Like it sounds good in the middle. It's
the warm tone flute is a good flute.
granted, like I'm not having flutes like play like low Fs in like marching band, but like, if they stick around like top of the staff, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
but
And then the rehearsal schedule changes
yeah,
and
kids out for sports and stuff
kids
like
out
that.
for
having
sports
to share
ball because
sports
everybody else's schedule changes. And we're
Right.
trying to figure out, we've had the same schedule for 10 plus years. So even though we get new coaches here and there, it's just like, hey, this is what we did last year. It worked.
Right.
All right, do that again. You move on
Sure.
from it.
Not so much.
So
Yeah.
all that to be said, this marching season has gone less than ideal.
Yeah.
And like I was talking with Duran, legally it's been kind of been put out and mostly laid to rest as far as I know. But just like I was telling him, we were going 40 in like when we were supposed to be going 45 on a race. And
yeah.
2 weeks ago we were coming around the bend to a straightaway and like we're behind, but we'll be able to catch up. And then we blew a tire out with everything that happened at the high school.
Yeah. Yeah. That definitely.
Like the Monday, Tuesday rehearsal were rough, but it was like got done what we needed to get done. It wasn't super clean, but it was the right idea. All right. Thursday, we just got to clean it up. Friday, we get a run through. Saturday, we go to Midway. Bango, bango.
Yeah.
Good to go. And then none of that happened.
None of that. Yeah. So. Did y'all even rehearse on Thursday?
Yeah, with 43 kids.
Oh, you didn't rehearse on Thursday.
So we did some quick across the floors, and that was it.
Are you
You
in?
said 43?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's just like the visual block with half the people,
Yeah.
a quarter of the
That's the
people.
reserve block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So, and
Because that was definitely the time it could have been to like speed up.
so not even speed up. We just needed to catch up. Like
Sure.
the expectation for this year wasn't like grade A, A1,
Yeah.
all state band. Like no, it was very menial goals.
Yeah.
Make finals at the first show, make top 5 at the second show, make area.
Yeah.
There's the goals. And then we get to the first show and we come up fairly short for making finals, and you're like, shit.
Like, oh no.
Okay. The first show is early enough to where it's like, all right, we can adjust.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before that, percussion goes to the contest the week before that. And I'm like, all right, let's see where we're at. Not look for anything. We might be in the running for a caption. If we place third, super dope. Hard last place. Shit.
Like, oh, what?
Oh no.
Oh no.
And then we go into the first band competition and don't make finals. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that we weren't where we needed to be, and damn it, I was right.
Yeah.
So I'm having this existential crisis of marching band. The marching aspect of things isn't good, and you tie that into the inadequacy of with first 2 years of indoor.
Yeah.
Well, the first year was a complete mess, and the second year is going great, and then gets shut down.
Right.
So, in the past 4 years, I've had no success in the marching arts, and I've had very little success in salsa. And that's what I was supposed to be good at.
Right.
So what the hell am I doing?
That's a That's a very
It's a tough go, is what it is.
yeah. It's a tough go, and like the question is like like yes, you've had like other impacts in other places. You've had, I mean, there are kids up there at the high school now that you started.
There's
You
again,
know.
it goes back to the I'm a egomaniac with a inferiority complex.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna be good at things. Like I knew the brass band was gonna be tight.
Right.
I just needed to make sure I had the kids for it. Sure enough,
Yeah.
we had oddly enough, we had the perfect instrumentation. Our first year, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah! Here's music.
Right.
Let's go."
So things like brass band, like your
Brass band,
percussion, your percussion.
Beginner percussion was gonna be nice. Like,
Yeah.
I can teach the crap out of that. When I was doing concert bands, I was like, conceptually, I understand how to do this.
Yeah.
I just haven't done it in practice. I'll be straight.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't.
Yeah.
And now I don't do it anymore. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah. That's a hard look.
Hard look, bro. And honestly, man, I ran into, do you remember Christina?
Which one? Yeah.
Ran into her at HEB. She's like, we just got done with rehearsal. I was like, yeah, super rough, man. Super rough. Don't know how it's going to go this weekend. She's like, why are you still here?
Phew.
Just leave. I
Oh.
was like, yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares about this out here. Everybody just wants to get their chord. And I was like, man.
Wants to get their chord,
Yeah.
like
The graduation chord.
you get a marching band one.
You get a
It's
band
an
one?
arts and
arts and
humanities.
humanities. Yeah.
That's not what I cared about, but
What?
I don't know anybody else care about that.
That's so weird. You get a chord
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Doing
well,
band.
they have
What did y'all get?
what's the word for it?
Did y'all get Letterman's?
You get Letterman's.
You do? Okay.
What the hell is it called? I was just talking to Danny about this.
Because we got like Letterman's for like doing it for 4 years. That was the big.
No, at Temple it's 2. I think you have to make region for 2 years, or make ones at solo and ensemble for 2 years, or make state for 2 years, or something like that. I remember because I lettered in swim my freshman year.
Yeah.
and when
Endorsement.
Endorsement, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Okay.
Where and that's, I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
it's like that's the one thing that you did for the 4 years. So there's an athletic endorsement. There's fine arts and
Oh,
humanities,
okay.
electronic, blah blah blah. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. When I got my letterman for swim, when it like had the endorsement thing of like what you got your letter for,
Yeah.
I thought that meant just like what activities you did. So I put swim and band. And
Yeah.
I was a freshman, so Matheson ended up getting my letterman, and he gave it to me. He's like, "Yeah, you didn't letter in band, but there's nothing I can do about it now. So here you go." I mean, I eventually did, but
Right.
It checked the boxes.
It was just a commitment. It was a contract.
I mean, he couldn't
Yeah.
hold it because I had it for swim.
Yeah.
So
Just take the band patch off.
You don't deserve this.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So and you know, I had a really, really honest conversation with the percussion section after our first show, and I told him that, man. I told him that I ran into 4 people, and all 4 people asked me,
Right here.
"Why are you still there? Oh, you're still up at Temple? Oh, Why haven't you left yet? What's like?
That's rough.
It's a super rough look, and I'm like, bro, I'm tired of getting these questions. Like, I want people to ask me, like, what are you feeding those kids? What's in the water out there? What do you got? Like, what are you doing out there? That's getting them to what they're doing on performances.
Because like I'm trying to ask Duran that because he's been like with his whole jazz thing.
Yeah.
It's been like, he's been over this group for like a year, and he's like
First year, and he gets nationally recognized.
it's that kind of like stuff that I'm like, yeah, I get that.
And it goes back to like theoretically, it goes back to our conversations of just knowing the crap out of what you're doing,
Right.
and teaching the hell out of it.
Right.
And that's where the existential crisis comes from. Yeah. I know the crap out of marching.
Are you teaching the hell out of it?
And I'm doing my best to teach the hell out of it, but the only thing that I never did, and this is, that was always Caesar's thing, was like, what was planned?
Yeah. Yeah, because like planning for the entire, this is like an idea of like, all right, here's band camp day 1, here's marching contest,
Yeah.
like, what's the plan here? Like that's the idea, is that you like plan out all that stuff from like the get go. But if no one wants to do that, then kind of have this thing where everyone's just kind of like walking blind.
Yeah.
Or if I'm sure you like had something in mind, but if the whole team isn't on board, it's like everyone's kind of like walking blind through it, which sucks. That's a hard it's a hard sell. Hard sell. I don't know. And the thing is, you don't want to tie your entire identity into how like certain aspects of the program do.
And I'm trying not to, but I'm just saying that it's
that
to a
was,
level,
right,
it's going to
right,
happen.
right.
And I mean, you went through the same thing.
I mean, I've gone through the same thing this year with like jazz band. The fact that I got hired because like I went to North Texas.
Yeah.
And
now you're struggling to keep a jazz band.
Yeah, I'm like struggling to keep the class like going. And my woodwinds are, I mean, this year they're doing
A1.
But they're doing good. But it's like ideally the thing everyone expects you to be good at.
Yeah.
You would like to be good at it. We would like to have the results of like I don't want to say the receipts. They're like the evidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
That what you're doing is working. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough look.
Yeah.
Texted Rhonda. It's like, do you know any therapists?
I need to talk to
I
someone.
need to talk to somebody.
Yeah, talk to someone. Talking that kind of stuff helps. It helps definitely. Got me over a lot of stuff that I need to get over.
Yeah.
Helps you. Weirdly enough, like therapy. At least for me, it like helps me. It helps me like kind of do therapy on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I think whenever like we're, by ourselves, we tend to not. We tend to say things like, like, I thought I was good at this. Am I trash at it?
Yeah.
It's like, well, like we tend to do those things, but then, therapy helps you kind of like, understand and like kind of rationalize it and be like, no, this is because of this. So you need to do this. And then you work through it. And like, that's, like I had to do that today where I was feeling an emotion. I had to be like, okay, this is because of this. There's no reason for you to like, have a have a reaction, have a big blowout about it. There's no reason to do that. You need to do this. Done. Like that's what therapy like helps me do. It helps me.
That's what I thought I was good at. Like I thought I was
Yeah.
super capable and aware of how to mediate my emotions,
I
for
mean,
better or worse.
yeah, mediate. Well, I think you were better at muting them than you were at mediating them.
All right,
we
Evan.
talked about this. Like we talked about this with Rhonda. There's a difference between muting and mediating.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can turn the emotions, like turn the switches down and just be like, cool, they're down, or you can be like, let me like adjust them, adjust the EQ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have the little dip like it's got right there. Which I'm now realizing is probably unnecessary. Yeah, get that. So
We'll see how this Saturday goes.
yeah,
We'll see how I manage the rest of the year.
I mean, one thing on a more like positive like note. So I've been sick the past couple of weeks, and my lips are like still kind of like scarred. They're not, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be permanent scars. I think
Yeah.
it won't be because the black part of my lips up here is starting to come back. Or I shouldn't say it's darker.
Yeah.
That's starting to come back, and so I had that happen, and then my back molars are partially erupted, which means that they're like mostly out, but there's still like gum over some of them. So food can get caught in the gum and cause them to inflame and be in pain. So all weekend, fire, like fire. It hurt so much. Like all weekend, this was like in pain.
Huh.
It just got over it like yesterday before I went to the dentist. Of course, like I went to the dentist and the dentist was just like, "Yep, you just have inflamed gums. It's not infected or anything. You just need to brush it, and if you want to get a gingivectomy to get rid of that it's a gum like removal.
Yeah.
If you want to get them to cut that off, they can." And then I had yesterday. I also had a headache that was random and like so I was like, God, can anything be like good for a second? And then went to Temple Jazz Orchestra rehearsal.
Yeah, man.
Sat in for that, and
What who'd you sit in for?
the lead singer player.
Oh, okay.
So I sat in for him, and I had a headache and played one tune, and I had a solo on the first tune. It was the warm up tune. It was 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I was like, oh, I don't even know these changes. Here we go, and I just came up with a solo, and it was I completely botched the solo break, botched it.
Hell yeah.
But as the night went on, I sort of forgot this, that for me, I don't know if how it is for like y'all, but like I forget that sometimes playing music kind of cures my ails. Sometimes, I forgot about that because I haven't played like besides like a couple of times in like the college band. I didn't
Yeah.
really not my college band, but the one I'm playing in right now. I hadn't really played in a while, and I was like, yeah, like this cured my headache. And I mean, it might have been the ibuprofen.
Probably ibuprofen, but
But by the end of it, I was just like, man, like I feel better. And that's we kind of forget that.
I get that with one of my churches.
Yeah.
Because I've been the one that I've been longer.
Yeah.
So every 2 weeks we'll add a new song,
Yeah.
and then on the other week it's just like kind of ones that we've already done. So got a catalog of like 50
Yeah.
tunes probably by now.
Yeah.
So I don't have to think about it. Like I don't look at the music. I just I know what's coming up, and I just get to sit there and play.
Yeah.
And that's nice. But the other church, like I'm playing all these hymnals. Everything's made up. go from 3-2 to 2-2 to 4-4, and I'm
jeez.
like having to watch changes and like, oh my god, what is going on? So like I have to think
Yeah.
too much of that church, so I don't get that that sense
That
of like
feeling,
relief.
Yeah.
But luckily that's kind of I start the morning there, so my brain gets shut on. Like I kicked in right away.
Yeah.
And then I get to go to the other church and like
Actually enjoy yourself.
Just get to play. Hell yeah.
That was way towards the end of that night. We played this tune called Dewey. It's called Dewey for Miles. It's this hip tune by the Yellow Jackets. God, that tune is so hip. And
Such a nerd.
like I had already played, we had played it before, and I played it's a flute chart for me, and I was just like da 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 da. I was just like, this is so. It felt so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was driving back home. I was like, I forget that's why we do like what we do.
Yeah.
Like is to get people to like feel that same thing. Like I think that's why I do what I do is because I had someone today in my band, clarinets, where we hadn't learned this part. It was the slow part of this piece, and one of my kids was like, "Oh, I really like that," and I was like, "Yeah, that's why I do this." Okay, cool. Like it was that it was just a
Yeah.
brief moment. It doesn't matter. Just for me, it's like those bright spots where you can like realize that like this isn't about the, this isn't about like how this year went. It's about how it made you feel. But and also, you also want it to be like worthwhile for yourself.
And like on that conversation, like I was talking to I think my front ensemble, and somebody brought up like I think they said something like I feel this when I get here. I'm like,
Is that video still going?
Yeah, I just checked it.
Cool. I felt a feeling of disturbance of the force.
but they were like, yeah, I feel this when I get here, and I was like, yeah, you're supposed to. And that's the next level of teaching for me is
Yeah.
explaining how you should feel and things like that. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, we've been stuck on the level below of you
Like,
play an A flat.
Like you're still not playing the right notes. So
Yeah.
how are we supposed to how are we supposed to feel anything if you're not going to play the right notes?
You're gonna feel the wrong thing if you play
Right.
the wrong note.
And,
so.
and like visually, it's just like, how are you supposed to like visually impact if you can't like march in time? Like could you imagine some band like it's not even in time and it just comes together and it's like,
Just a big
yeah,
mob
we
on the
nailed
field.
this. No,
You did
no, no one liked that.
Yeah. and it was interesting to see like the faces because my front ensemble was mostly freshman sophomore.
Yeah.
And like you saw all of them like, oh shit, okay. Like you saw like them process
Yeah,
the
well-
words that I said to them, and they're like, that makes sense. That makes okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, also proud of myself. We did brass band today. Only class I taught because we were doing PSAT,
Oh.
and I was in fourth period. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. These testing days are so frustrating.
Testing all the time. I love it.
Anywho.
That's a lie.
Anywho, get together for brass bands, and I got a solid group of kids. I think 2 or 3 new kids. Right, but most of the people like were in last years
Yeah.
previous, which is nice. But we start basically with these first 2 songs. Out of the Red is the warm up song.
Yeah.
Out of the Red into the Black by Young Blood Brass Band, and then the
Hell
second, yeah, right. And then the second song is Spodioti, Dopalicious.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like those. I think those are 2 like really good, set the vibe.
Yeah.
Here's kind of 2 the opposite sides of the spectrum of what brass band is.
Right.
Those were the first 2 songs that we learned. Like, here's New Orleans style brass band. Here's club style brass band. Like, this is kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And the one of the new kids, he's a freshman bone player, but he kind of made this side comment to one of the other trombone players, like, is there theory in solos? And like, I've never thought anything that he said is dumb, and I didn't think this one, but that's why I like the kid, because he's like, legitimately like, hey, no, like, is there theory? Like, what do you guys mean? Like, he's genuinely asking, is there theory in solos? And I was like, yeah, man. And then every now and then, like, I'll go on these rants of like how things are supposed to work in brass band.
Is there theory in solos?
Yeah.
As like asking like music theory?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how music is. Sorry.
Freshman.
I could.
I still don't even know how to solo.
Yeah. Like, it's a pretty easy step to skip. We've gone over this. Like, you missed the day in jazz where it's like you either A, miss the day in jazz, or just like, oh, no, just play B flat blues for 24 bars. All right. And you just don't go back to the fact, like, there are other things in that B flat blues you should play.
That's the problem.
No, I know. I understand that's the problem. I'm just saying.
That's what I was taught, and so it's like the only way I know how to solo.
Yeah.
I was trying to teach, like, be taught other ways, but none of it was retained. Like, Matheson would go over, like, different solos and different chords and keys and stuff, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, God.
So, this note?
If you play the changes, it makes sense. That's all I'll say.
They're in the trees.
They're in the trees. Like,
Jesus. So, obviously, I'm not well-versed in jazz enough to talk about changes. But I could talk to you about style and, like, the theory of style and like, what notes should coincide. And I got into this. I was so impressed with myself because I did not stutter once, and I did not break, the continuous thought once. I was like, hell yeah.
it was that moment when someone asks a question, you're like, okay, cool, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I got this. Like, I think the last time I was this successful and proud of what I said was the time I explained hip hop to you.
Oh.
That was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But I talked about the difference between metric soloing and melodic soloing. And how on Out of the Red, you can get away with doing either.
Yeah.
Like, you can come in, you can do a bebop solo, which is like, you can just play every note up and down on the scale, like the entire 24 bars, and you're good. Or you can go the metric soloing, where you pick like 3 notes, and then you just change the rhythm. Yeah. And then I was explaining the difference between that and Spodioti, where you're only able to do metric soloing. Like, you cannot.
It's not in the style.
It's not. It's not in the style, and B, it's, as a soloist, you're not gonna know what to do if you try to do the bebop style.
Yeah.
Like, because the song is so slow, it's a hip hop song. It's by Outkast. Like, you gotta play like you're from Atlanta, and you're moving slow and you're slanging. Like, I didn't get into that because it's a bunch of white kids, and I'm like, this is gonna go over your head. Like,
you don't understand this experience.
You don't know what a candy paint job is in the fifth wheel, so I ain't gonna talk about nothing. Let's just talk about rhythms.
No idea what you're talking
I really
about.
got you. Huh?
Oh, it's just the sentence that you just said was funny. You don't know about a candy paint job in a fifth wheel. So let's just talk about rhythms.
Oh, great.
was
It's a
good.
great example of that situation. 100% knew what I talked about. Chris still over here looking goofy. Like,
Huh?
No, I don't know why y'all laughing.
Talk about painting drugs, son. Painting drugs.
drugs that pay for paint. And okay, well, let's a candy paint job is different than a lowrider paint job. It's very, very specific. Okay, lowrider, it's got a bunch of pinstripes, right? Can you picture a lowrider?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Lowriders usually have uh, various degrees of that color on the same car. So you'll have your forest green, lime green, seafoam, what have you. Those are terrible, three terrible different types of greens. But you know what I'm saying? Like different types. Candy paint job is one color, and there's glitter in it, and it's the most vibrant color you can think of. Please look up candy paint job. Actually, can you do it on Evans so that way I can kind of talk you through this? What are you doing over here, bud? What are you doing with your hands here?
I'm singing Lowrider.
I hate you so much.
That's why I was vibing out. Okay, because people were like, "What is Evan doing?"
All right, so look up candy paint job. So you see what I'm saying with like the brightest of brightest colors? That purple one, that one, yep. Can you stop with the mouth noises? What are we doing here? That's a candy paint job. Actually, I take that back. That's a lowrider. I just didn't see the resolution. All right, so that's a lowrider because the different colors in it.
So those purples and blues.
See how the front is that dark purple, and then you got the blue on the wing out the back. That's a beautiful El Camino, by the way. I think that's a 19. That's a later one. It's like a 74.
God, knowledge is weird.
I'll just yeah. So keep scrolling. Where's she at? Where's she at? That green. There you go.
This one?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
So that green, if you click on it, you'll see that there is like sparkles in the paint as well.
I used to see it like on some of these.
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
And then, actually, so then type this in. Type in Houston Swangers,
Houston.
and then SWANG. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, those.
Your wheels as you go by.
Those are. I do not know enough about why it sticks out so far. I think it has something to do with like
Running a car off the road.
the theory of like back up, son. Like don't get near the whip. All right. But if you look, when I say a fifth wheel, it proves how much money you got. Because you got so much money, you could afford to buy that rim, that tire, and not use it and put it in the back. So if you look in that third row, that black car,
It's just
that's a fifth wheel.
just a fifth wheel.
Just a fifth wheel out the back.
No reason.
It doesn't do nothing. It's just an accessory. But it's proof that you got money. Because you could afford to buy that and not use it.
Wouldn't it just be a spare?
Nah, it's fifth wheel.
Oh.
Spare implies that it's not the same. Spares are steelies.
Just an extra wheel.
Yeah.
Oh.
And yeah, if you look at that bronze Cadillac CTS,
This one?
nah, that's what? No, that's a 300. That
Yeah.
This?
Everyone
Down.
knows exactly what that means.
that one.
Take a
You just
little
said knowledge is weird. The fact that I can tell exactly what these cars are.
trip. Exactly.
Right. So you got the candy paint job. It's that bronze with the glitter in it. You got the fifth wheel out the back, and it's not dumped. Right. There's no hydraulics in this. That's not how this works. If you get hydraulics in it, then it's a low rider, and you're getting a completely different style. That's West Coast. Houston to Atlanta, that's what they rock. That's what they roll up and does. They go 5 miles down the street and they swing in from side to side. They just take up the entire road. And if you just if you watch car meets, like as they're going in, like it's really impressive because one person's on the right side, one person's on the left, and then they cross. They cross back and forth, and then you just see this entire line of cars doing that, and it's mad dope. Car culture.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
So, obviously, that took
longer.
a lot longer for me to explain than for me to just be like, yo, you gotta pick open rhythms.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to play the same note.
Yeah, Miss Maya. That's fine.
And then
Yeah.
I looked at the kids, I was like, did anything I make just make sense? And then all of them yes, everybody's face looked like, that's the most anybody's ever explained soloing to me ever in my life. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. All right, man. So get out the next tune.
Yeah, because a lot of soloing. I don't know if it's I think it's the books that we tend to use and stuff. They just tend to be like, because I know this is how I was taught originally, was just like blues scale. Just play that blues scale, and if you have good enough technique, it'll sound all right. And you can make a good scale, but if you learn how to play the changes, you can make a better solo. And that's what my jazz band learns. So they learn how to play the changes. They don't want blues scale. I haven't taught them a blues scale. They don't even know the blues scale.
Good.
They don't need to know it. That's the cayenne pepper of jazz. Like you don't sit there and just dump mostly cayenne pepper down someone's throat and say, "Eat that." Whatever.
Really strong feelings, but okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel about whenever I'm sitting in a room and I'm judging and everyone's playing the blues scale up and down. And I'm just like, well, what are we doing? Like, what are we gonna play the changes? Are we gonna even try?
Yeah.
I digress. But yeah,
This goes into a further conversation, and the reason why you were able to solo on the things you were able to solo on is because you knew, even if you didn't know that you knew how to listen to the right stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know how to do changes at all.
Yeah,
on anything.
but this is what bothers me. Everybody that you talk to, every jazz person,
Yeah.
every jazzer, it's like, what's the one thing? If you had just one thing
Yeah.
that you need for jazz to be successful, what do they say? They always say listening.
Yeah.
But they don't explain.
How to listen.
They don't, not even how to listen, what they mean by listening. Because that is such
Abroad.
a dense topic, a broad topic of what you internally mean by when you say listening.
So when I say listening, it is, for instance, I'll give an example of something I did literally today. So my jazz band, very small group, so we only it was only the two horn players and me today, and what we did, I put on I Real B and we went in a circle soloing. Everyone you got your 12 measures and you just solo for 12 measures. And I would always mess with my alto player, trumpet plays solo, 12 measures, alto plays a solo. I hear something in the solo, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that. And then I played the same thing back at her, and she was like, like every time I was like, what? Like, what did you just? And I was like, that's what I mean by listening.
Yeah.
Is like taking. Granted, you're not like literally taking in all of the. I told them this today. I was like, half the stuff I play, I just stole it from someone else.
Yeah.
Like when I'm listening, I'm not. Like, am I actively sitting there and transcribing every single lick I'm hearing? No, but I'm getting the idea, and it's a kind of thing of like language where you are like whenever you're a baby, you don't You're listening to language. You're hearing people talk. You're getting that. Food means food.
Yeah.
When I ask for food, I get food. Same thing when you're playing. People get excited, and they kind of cringe up a little bit when you play a blues scale. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then, like that's what I think listening is taking the time to assess how music makes you feel, and seeing if you can replicate that.
That's a great definition of one sense of listening.
Yeah.
But then the simple definition of what you said is like straight ahead, just transcribe.
Yeah.
Find something you like, transcribe it.
Put it in 12 keys, and then eventually it'll make its way into your playing. I was doing that today. I transcribed this lick a couple of weeks ago, and then I played it, and I was like, oh, yeah. I forgot I learned that. This part of this Cannonball solo. I learned it, and it's part of my vocabulary now. Like, that's just... Did I mean to do that? Did I mean to, like... Well, I think the thing is, like, if someone's, like, if someone's just singing jazz, and they're just, like, kind of scatting, like, the things I sang just now, I sang Charlie Parker licks, I said, like, do that, like, that's just singing stuff, but that's because I've listened to so much of it, that the things I've heard are now, like, a part of, like, the way I sing. And granted, like, can I put every Parker lick that I know on the horn? I'm still working on that. But that's the idea of listening to me, is taking the emotions and the technical feelings, I guess, you have about, like, the music that you're listening to, and then seeing if you can replicate it at a later date.
And then I would say mine, and I would guess it's a little bit of yours, Chris, when if you're saying, like, what does listening mean? It's like, no, like, just listen to what you're playing. Like, actually listen to what you're playing and figure out why that sounds good. Like, did you find... There's two avenues of this. There's Avenue A, where you find the same song and you're able to do this with jazz.
Yeah.
And you just listen to, like, everybody else's rendition.
Yeah.
Or there's option B, where it's like, oh, we're playing second line tune. We're playing the actual second line.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just look up every brass band ever.
Sure.
And just listen to that. And then, therefore, I'm listening to stylistically what's correct, as opposed to individual licks, individuals, like, styles of like the Charlie Parker lick.
I mean, that is also part of it too. Is like listening to, like, I was playing last night, and the pianist, he was, like, soloing over this bassy tune, and the director, he's also a piano player. He was like. At one point he was, like, soloing. It was getting kind of out. It was kind of like harmonically kind of out there, playing a bunch of, like, modern stuff. He was like bassy,
yeah,
and he starts, like, going back to, like, kind of bassy language, and, like, that's also part of it too. Is like, I heard someone yesterday, on TikTok, she was playing. She was like, I can do a great Louis Armstrong impression, and I was like, oh yeah, you kind of sound like, she's not literally playing Louis Armstrong, like, stuff, but kind of sounds like Louis Armstrong.
yeah.
That's part of it too, is, like, listening to, like, style, and, like, can you do an impression of it? And that's, like, what a lot of, like, art becomes, is, like, can you do an impression of someone, and then eventually are you doing your own thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's all art is. You're just copying stuff until you can say, and so you're copying stuff until you do something different. This is what I think being a good artist is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people want to do something different at the beginning. And it's like, no.
You're not original enough.
Yeah.
Not smart enough yet.
You sound like maybe like a classical player, like, trying to play jazz, and they're just like, what if I did this? It's like, you don't sound like you're playing jazz, though. Like he's
What are you doing here, bub?
like,
And that's so we're going back to the salsa band thing. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing that I have hardest teaching it. Is like
because these kids don't listen to salsa music. Like
exactly. It's like how do I explain salsa articulation when A, I don't know what the words are, and B, they don't know what the music is.
Yeah, like da, da, da. Like how do you how do you say that?
It's like it's got to be shorter. No, but that's like too short.
I want like fat and short.
But yeah,
can you make it a stout note? I need a stout note.
I know it's a double C, but it needs to be the length of an eighth note. But I need to hear like 4/16 notes.
Yeah.
I know it's not possible, but my boy used to be able to do it.
So
And I'm just trying to get you to make me feel how he did.
that's symbolic. Can you like hit it to where it like resonates, but for like a half note? Can it resonate for longer? Can you
Don't
make,
hit it more. Just
Can you give it duration?
Yeah.
But I need you to do that, but like on a roll. Like, can you make your roll have a duration?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a struggle in that aspect of things. Cause I'm just like, I don't know, just try some. I'll tell you if I like it or not.
Yeah.
They try. I'm like, nah. And they're like, I don't know what I did. I'm like, well, okay, well, keep trying.
No, that's half of it. It's just like, I mean, because that's when a lot of jazzers are like, you got to transcribe, because then part of transcribing is also, okay, I have those notes down.
Yeah.
But also, did you play that quarter note like you played that quarter note, or did you play it like you played it? Because you played it like you played it. I mean, I remember my first transcription ever was in college, and I did not play it. I did not play it well. It was a Charlie Parker on Billy's Bounce, and I had kind of like looked at the solo a little bit when I was in high school, but like from the Omnibook, but I hadn't like transcribed it like by ear. But I transcribed it by ear, and then I played it in our jazz saxophone professor was like, "You didn't really play that like Parker. You kind of just played the right notes, but you didn't play it like you didn't do the transcription. Like you played the right notes, but you didn't transcribe
I
him."
feel right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I tried to transcribe a conga solo. You know how hard it is to transcribe a conga solo?
Oh, I bet.
What's even worse is having a background in like marching band. So you listen to the same bar 30 times because there's not enough time. Like you're hearing it as 16 notes,
Yeah.
but there is 20 notes.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
Anytime I hear someone like transcribe like a jazz,
also for everybody that's not like, it feels like a very inside baseball conversation, and I apologize to anybody that's not a musician.
it's all of it like comes down to like, this is like part of our identity, is that
Just want people to feel shit.
right.
That's all I want.
Like, at the end of the day, all of the arts like when people talk about like arts in schools isn't like necessary anymore. It's like you're gonna end up with a lot of people that just don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, and you're starting to see a lot of this kind of in like modern culture too. Like I see it with the kids now. They're like super like not empathetic. It's like y'all are just mean. Like you're not even like I remember last year, like I asked someone, I was like, "Do you feel bad about that?" And they were like, "No." I'm like, oh, you're just cruel. Like you're
You're just
like
a trash person.
like you're just a cruel individual. But yeah, you end up with a bunch of kids that don't feel anything, or a bunch of adults, because they end up being adults.
Yeah.
And that's not a
It's
good.
a rough go, man.
Yeah,
It's a rough go.
yeah. But hey, that's it happens.
We're talking indoor season is upon us.
Yeah.
So I started talking to Caesar about shows, and I was like, just want to feel some, like,
Yeah.
I want to make them like feel it. And he's like, good, because all I've been writing is sad shit.
Yeah.
So that's what you're gonna play. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna walk away from that season being like, I'm depressed, but I'm happy.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
everybody's crying. Hell yeah. Get the floor.
Get it.
Get up.
We
We
did
got
it.
20 seconds left.
We did
Move.
It's okay. We succeeded.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But, we talk about indoor, and I was talking to the drum majors, because both of them have done indoor with me every time I've done it. And they were like, dude, I don't know, man. This year's been super rough. And I might just need to, like, just take it super easy the second semester. And I was like, I get it. But also, we need a successful, like...
It'd be cool if you could.
It'd be cool if you could,
did
but
it.
also I know it'd be good for you because you haven't had a dub.
Yeah.
Like we've been at the school the same amount of time, so you've had the same amount of dubs as I have.
Yeah.
There's not been enough.
Yeah.
So try one more time. Try to get the dub with your boy.
Yeah.
Because I think it's possible.
And, this could be the year that you have a clear, like you said, like you haven't been the one that's been like in charge of the when it comes to indoor. It's all you. Like,
Yeah. And because I've had to, it sounds shitty, but like I'm using this marching season as like a trial run of how to like long form program
Yeah.
like rehearsals. So
Yeah. It's a hard game. Hard game. The long game is the hard game. It's hard. It's so hard to be like, all right, 5 years from now, where are we gonna be at? Are we gonna be able to? I'll talk about it later.
I just want to get my
It's
plancha.
blasphemy.
Just want to get my plancha and make some burgers. That being said, November 6th,
Yeah.
going full dad mode. Pull up if you want to. I'm gonna have the flag top grill. I'm gonna make some burgers. I'm gonna make a bunch of food.
Burgers.
Invite a bunch of people over. Gonna have the fight. Big fight card. that day.
Burgers and punching.
Feel good about that?
Yes.
Because I want to smack you. Can you pull up that card?
No punching.
What is it?
Ow! Ow! I put my thumb in the middle of that. You didn't mean for it to hurt, but it did. I was like,
That's your fault.
I was like, no.
I was going for the thigh on
It's
purpose.
just like a gentle, like, and I was like, no.
November 6th,
I want,
UFC.
I want this to hurt.
God damn it.
I thought when you typed 2021, I was like, it's 2020. Like, what are you doing?
Dude, it's got me messed up. All right.
Oh.
So go to the more fights.
More fights.
Again, feel good about this, bud. So let's just talk about the main card.
I'm just choosing voices.
Frankie Edgar.
I know none of these names.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm gonna explain them. You act like I don't. We go over this every time.
Oh no, I know Kobe Covington. I know
You've
that.
seen actually a surprising amount of these people fight. Frankie Edgar and Marlon Vera. Yes, you saw Marlon Vera. He fought Sean O'Malley, the white kid with the diaphragm.
Yeah.
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 Marlon Vera is the only person that's beat him.
Okay.
That was the one fight where Sean O'Malley's foot gave out on him. He has that nerve damage, and his foot just stopped working, and then he got a TKO. So Marlon is fighting Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar's been in the game forever. This is a big fight for both of them.
What does Banta mean?
If Bantam is 135.
No, like what does that mean? What's Bantam? Okay.
Just different names.
I'm gonna Google that real quick.
Someone decided, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like the origin of Bantam. I'm trying to like Batman weight. I'm fighting at Batman weight this week.
Well, the lowest one is atom weight.
That makes
And
sense.
that's like, I think that's like 108 or something
Okay.
like that.
Continue.
Yeah, so big crossroads fight. Frankie Edgar's on the way out. Marlon Vera's on the way up. So whoever wins, kind of, the big deciding factor for that. Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. lightweight division, number 3, number 4 of the division. Michael Chandler's a big deal. He's just coming off a title fight, didn't win. So now he's 1-1 in the UFC. He came over from Bellator. He was murdering in Bellator. So he's the first person to go from Bellator to UFC and like come out swinging. He's killing it. But he lost the last fight. So it's like, is he actually worth the hype? Justin Gaethje, the most violent fighter in the UFC, legitimately, he got 9 bonuses in his first 7 fights. So that's either he got fight of the night bonus, which means that it was just haymakers being thrown the entire time, or knockout bonus. So he put someone to sleep. The first 7 fights. Violent man. Looks like an absolute nerd. It's hilarious.
That's why he's a violent man.
Yeah, he's not aesthetically anybody that you'd be like, I should be worried about him. But in reality,
I have a story about that later.
he will murder you. You got Rose Namajunas versus Weili Zhang. Zhang Weili, excuse me. For the belt, Rose just beat Zhang Weili.
I've seen Zhang fight, yeah.
You fought, that's the Yona Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah.
Where she had the giant.
Yeah, I remember it because I was like, oh my God. Like,
But yeah, the last time they fought was
shark size.
In April. Yes. Was in April, my birthday weekend, and I called every fight on that card. I'm very angry I did not bet on it. But Rose kicked Zhang knocked her out with a head kick. It was beautiful. Great. So Zhang's coming back for the title. Rose is a monster and nobody's going to beat her. And then you have Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington too.
Well, it looks like 4 people beat her.
Shut up. God damn it. Anyways.
tied.
Colby Covington is well known for being his adamant Trump supporter.
Yes.
Homie is very white,
Did not like
very
it.
aggressive, talks mad shit about everything and everybody.
Yeah, his whole vibe was very. I just did not like his.
Very
vibe.
gross. He's a piece of shit, but he's a hell of a fighter. He's got one of the best cardios in the game, and he's just like known for like he's gonna put 70% effort on you the entire fight.
Wow.
So he's not a big haymaker, but he's just like
I'm gonna wear you down.
he's gonna just keep hitting you at the same spot with the same level of intensity.
Yeah.
So by that 4th round, your body's just gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
But he's going against Kamaru Usman. Has not lost a fight in the UFC. The one loss he has, I think, was like his 2nd or 3rd fight. I think it was his first, actually. Very first professional fight. He lost it, and he was like, oh, this feels terrible. I'm never going to feel this ever again. And then he hasn't. And he has just been putting on a clinic every single time he steps in the ring. Kamaru Usman's last fight was against Jorge Masvidal when he knocked him out. First person to ever knock out.
It's like he knocked out Masvidal.
Yeah.
Oh dang.
First person to ever knock out Masvidal.
Yeah.
One of the most gangster shots ever. Just like that. Yeah, it was beautiful. Chef's kiss. Before that, he fights Masvidal again. Then the first fight, he was on a 4-day notice. He just gets the decision. He has just like been leveling up every single time. He has 100% takedown defense. You realize how impressive that?
No.
No one can take him down.
Oh.
People shoot in and try to pick him up and put him on the mat, and he's like, nah.
Wrong. Spider monkey.
He's like, you thought? Yeah, 100% takedown defense.
Wow.
He's the only person in the UFC. Bonkos. Yeah, so for all those that are with me with gambling, I'm going Marlon Vera, Justin Gaethje, Rose, and Kamaru. Anyways. Anyways, I might try to talk to Catherine. It's been a while since we've done a UFC podcast.
$5.
$5?
The opposite. Just random.
All right.
No, I'm not gonna start that. I'm not gonna start.
We can do 4. We do $4. So just even money.
dollar.
Yeah,
per
dollar per line.
Sure, let's do that. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'll be invested.
Chris, you want in on it?
I don't know.
Let me know.
Oh.
I'm down to bet on anything. Well established. But yeah, so November 6th, pull up, man. I'll make some burgers. I hate you.
Burgers.
I've been thinking about my burger recipe, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be a day where I do it beforehand, so I get.
Are you gonna do like fries or something with it? You just gonna do burgers?
that too? I don't know.
Are you just gonna
Besides,
chips or?
I might. This is what I'm thinking about. I'm like, do I just go full Mexican, or I just go rice and beans? But then I also got to get fajita. and
Yeah,
then, like, some
I don't
barbecue
want
chicken.
burgers and beans. That sounds like a bad
Well, that's
time.
because you're black. All right,
I've done burgers and baked beans, but baked beans are fine. But burgers and regular beans,
Refried.
well, yeah, you're not gonna get refried beans. You're gonna get the. I'm gonna ask.
charro beans, like
Yeah, charro beans.
no, I don't want. I just don't want charro beans in burgers.
How do you know how? What? You'll
I
take
agree
baked
with
beans
the
and
baked
burgers,
beans. I've
but
had
not.
baked beans, but
What?
Yeah.
baked beans and burgers.
Yeah, baked beans and burgers is a thing. But charro beans
Yeah,
and burgers,
baked beans and burgers are a thing. Charro beans and burgers are a thing.
charro burgers.
No, there's something there.
Yeah, no. Who wants rice in a burger? Like, just say rice in a burger and agree with yourself. Oh man,
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do full menu wise. I haven't decided, but
I'm excited for it.
yeah, it'll be good.
I'm excited to win $2, and then give you $2. Will be $2.
Both richer and poor.
We'll just have $2. All right.
Also, probably gonna do. Remember the one time I did the barbecue chicken legs?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably bring those back.
Oh yeah, please.
Those slapped.
Those were very good. All right, we want to talk about
Last thing before
Yeah.
we get to what we've been watching.
yeah.
When's the last time you had an English muffin?
Could not tell you. Genuinely.
You ever had
Never.
any? Have you even had one?
No, I said never.
God damn it!
Why? Do you really like the English muffins?
I forgot how good they were. There was an episode on the that podcast Taste Buds they did.
Yeah.
English muffins versus
Bagels.
no, that's what they should have done. But they did Pop Tarts,
Ugh.
and it was just the
It's not accurate
the premise was you take it out the package and you
Put it in a toaster.
And you put it in a toaster. Like that's what their similarity was. I definitely think it should have been English muffin and bagel. That would have been a better thing. And then Pop Tart versus toaster strudel.
Right. Yeah, English muffins.
For the record, it's English muffin and Pop Tart. Toaster strudel can kick rocks. Way too overhyped.
Honestly, yeah.
And bagels are bullshit.
I told you. I like bought toaster strudels like a couple of months ago. And I was just like,
told us about that.
I was just like, this is not. This is
I
not.
remember.
This is not very good. Like I thought this was very good as a child, and now I'm like, this is
Okay.
nothing.
It's mediocre at best.
Mediocre at best.
Yeah, English muffins are. I know everyone hears my complaint coming out, but it's like the crumble of the cornmeal.
Hey, your child, get over it. It makes it
the mess
delicious.
it makes. It's good. It's just it's a messy.
It's a superior breakfast bread.
Superior to the biscuit. Don't say biscuits are
Biscuits and gravy does not count. Talking straight side.
Oh well, no. So biscuit is still the goat bread.
Oh wait.
Yeah. You'd rather have an English muffin than a biscuit.
Yeah.
If someone's like,
You put some natural butter on that. Oof. Again, biscuits and gravy. I'm getting biscuits and gravy every day of the week.
but like hear this accent. All right, honey, you want an English muffin or a biscuit? Are you gonna get? That was a very bad accent.
Yeah, I don't know what. There was no accent. What are you going for there, Bucko?
I tried for a southern lady.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I tried.
Well, it's tough. She can't do accents.
I know. One of the kids asked me today. They were like, the kids were doing accents, and I was like, "Guys, you're worse at accents than me." And they were like, "Do an accent." I'm like, "No, I don't do them. Like, I just don't do them." And I thought about it for a second. I was like,
I did the same thing in sixth
I'm gonna
grade.
be entertaining for a second. No, but yeah, if a southern lady like offers you a biscuit or an English muffin, or imagine like an English lady offering you an English muffin, or a southern lady offering you a biscuit,
I'm talking about as a side to your breakfast.
like a side on your breakfast. Like you got your eggs, you got your hash browns, you got your pancakes, you got your sausage and your bacon or whatever, and then like you're gonna have an English muffin with that?
Yeah.
No, fam, it's wrong. It's incorrect. It's poor form.
The highest level of biscuit is better than the highest level of English muffin. But the lowest level of biscuit is complete trash compared
Popeye.
to the lowest level of
Popeye's biscuits
trash.
compared to an English muffin.
I'm just shoving dirt in your mouth is what you're doing with the Popeye's biscuit. You're putting baked dirt in your mouth
God,
and it just dries your mouth out.
I had Popeyes like a couple of. This had to be like months ago. It was during the summer, and I was just chunking through that biscuit, and I was just like, "God, this is awful."
Trash.
I get why like people would choke on this. Like, this is not a
There's
good.
only
bit.
one English muffin. Thomas English muffins.
And they're just.
They're great.
You put a good butter and a good like a good apple an apple butter or something on that, like, oh, tasty, good soup.
Apple butter on an English muffin over apple butter on a biscuit? Come on now. What are we doing here?
I mean, yeah, biscuits I go strawberry.
That's all you can get is strawberry. Nothing else tastes good on a biscuit.
I mean, correct.
So I'm saying it's the superior breakfast food because of its ability to do a multitude of things.
Why is grape jelly a thing? I think it's for hedonism.
I think it's for children. Do
Because
you like grape jelly?
Yeah.
you
I don't get it. I get
But do you like strawberry jelly?
you get,
I get strawberry, but I'll eat grape jelly, yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
I
grape
prefer
jelly.
strawberry, but
Yeah,
I like grape.
there's gonna be it's a couple years. Check back in with me.
It's
Where
gonna
you
be.
just stop getting grape. I remember where you're at, where you'd get both.
You would get.
You'd get both.
I don't get both. I get strawberry, but sometimes I still feel like the grape or whatever.
I've never,
I distinctly remember like the first year I lived in my a townhome. We had both, and it was because somebody had bought the strawberry,
Wow.
and I was like, all right, yeah, I guess I'll get the grape. And then I just remember that grape stayed there for like 3 years. We just burned through strawberry every like.
Because to me, like strawberry, and I was like late night at this like Whataburger, and this lady like lectured me about which one's jelly and which one's jam. She was like it's strawberry jelly, it's grape jam. That might be backwards.
It's definitely backwards.
I don't remember.
Grape jelly, strawberry jam.
Yeah, because the jelly jiggles. Strawberry does not jiggle. But the concept of grape jelly, like how does it get to be jelly is the weird part to me. I'm
That
just
doesn't make
like
sense.
I'm like it's Jello. Like what is it? When you get strawberry jelly, you clearly see what it is. It's strawberries that were just smashed up with sugar and then preserved.
down,
Like
yeah.
that's what that's what I like about strawberry. When you get like a seed in there, and you're just like, ooh, this is real.
So all this to be said, English muffin,
English muffins.
superior breakfast bread.
Of the breakfast breads, man, biscuit's still the. Like you rather have like an English muffin sandwich, like a bacon, egg, and cheese, like English muffin, versus a bacon, egg, and cheese
said-
biscuit.
The higher highs for the biscuit. There's higher highs for the biscuit. Lower lows for the biscuit. Everything tastes good.
Yeah,
on
because
English
biscuits
muffin.
are hard to make. I think English,
Everything tastes good on English muffin.
English muffins
You
aren't
tell me you
hard.
don't want a ham, egg, and cheese on an English muffin?
Oh, first of all, I don't do ham.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on, a,
Yeah.
on an English muffin?
I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm
That's
saying,
all McDonald's did during your childhood.
No,
It was always English muffins.
sausage biscuit.
Child.
McGriddle.
That wasn't a thing back in the day.
Like that's all I had was sausage biscuits. There was no like my mom got the
Whatever.
the
I digress.
muffin.
But a bacon, egg, and cheese. You want a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit instead of a bacon, egg, and cheese English muffin? Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
Biscuit falls apart. It's a
Yeah.
It's a useless bread. You can't eat that with your hands. You always got to come at it with a fork and knife.
What?
No, that depends on where we're at though. If you're at like Chick-fil-A or something, yeah, you're gonna end up going at it with like you're gonna end up picking at the crumbs later.
Yeah.
But if you have a place with like a compact biscuit, then it stays together. Like if you go to like
But do you want that compact
like-
biscuit? You don't. The whole
I
purpose
want-
of
I want
biscuit
it more
is
than-
being a southern croissant.
I want a compact biscuit.
For the record, that's all
more
a biscuit is.
is a southern croissant. That's good. Southern croissant, Paris, Texas. Well, bonjour.
Well, buongiorno.
Um,
For the record, let it be known. Process is so similar.
oh yeah,
Fold butter into the thing and bake it.
right.
And then one gets flakes and one gets...
Because biscuit,
Flaky.
you don't over mix a biscuit, and croissant you like layer it. That's how you get the layers. But the yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that whole this whole biscuit English muffin thing. I
Going English muffin, man. I stand by my words.
English like I think the spectrum is wide because like it can be good. It also can be bad. Like can an English muffin really be that good?
Yes.
I mean, you literally said like a biscuit has higher highs. Like
Yeah. Because of biscuits and gravy. Nothing is better than biscuits and gravy. I stand by that being the superior breakfast meal, and I'll fight somebody about this.
Don't get me wrong. I had biscuits and gravy on Sunday. Like this isn't like a dig on biscuits and gravy, but we have to acknowledge at some point that biscuits and gravy is just concrete in your body. Like it's just body concrete. We have to acknowledge it because every time I eat biscuits and gravy, I'm just like I feel like because you're just putting like dry flour with wet flour and you're just putting that all in your body and just being like, I hope this digests. Like it's not going to. Yeah, biscuits and gravy is a difficult meal to like rationalize.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
It's delicious.
Delicious, though.
First watch, man. They have some dope biscuits and gravy. But I just we need to like rank. Well, next episode, let's just have like one of our classic like let's just rank stuff. Let's not be sad. Let's just
Let's talk about mental health and wellness.
let's just
talk about bullshit.
let's just
Yeah, all right.
let's just rank it.
Write it down, Chris. Let's. This is what we're going to talk about. We got. We'll talk about breakfast breads.
Wait, do y'all want to do? We'll talk about this after the podcast.
All right, but write it down. Well, let's do.
We'll
Let's
talk
do.
about it after the podcast.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, we're getting late.
Oh shit. Anyways, we'll write it down. We'll come back with it. Breakfast Spreads is on it.
All right.
What are you watching?
Shoot. What have I been watching? Started Legion again today. What did I watched something this weekend?
You saw Venom.
Oh yeah, I saw Venom.
Have you seen it?
No, I still haven't seen it. I meant to. I dropped the ball. I partied this weekend. It was much needed, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I
your
was like,
boy's only 28.
I was like, yeah,
It's not only 28, but your boy's 28, and the comeback after partying is
not
not
a good.
as smooth as it once was.
Yeah. Saw Venom. Oh, you know what movie I did see? I watched this on Sunday. I watched the Maltese Falcon. Classic, like, well, like, I forget the. Not Peter Gabriel. What's his name? Oh, jeez. Can you look up the Maltese Falcon real quick? What's his name? Oh no, I got it. Humphrey Bogart. For Casablanca and stuff like that.
Such a name.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, I really like that one. It was it's a classic. It's one of those like everyone like it's a film like school like it's the beginning of film noir and stuff like that. Like really good movie. Yeah, I'm trying to watch more like old movies to kind of catch up on the film school stuff. Even though I'm not in film school. What you watching? You still on that Game of Thrones?
Still on the Game of Thrones. It's getting dicier and dicier. Halfway through season 5.
Oh yeah, the thing's about to happen. I'm kidding.
Stone people, terrifying.
Stone people. I don't know about some people. Okay.
And then season 3 of Sex Education just came out, and that's a really good show, and I highly recommend it.
It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a British cast, and usually I'm pretty against that, just in general.
I'm just against a British cast.
Yeah, is what it is.
If you're from London, I hate you.
A little bit.
You're gonna hate Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Tom Holland and
Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Cumberjack.
Cumberjack.
Hubbubububacks.
Hubba bubba.
The Wizard.
But it's a great show, man. It really is. It does a really accurate depiction of kind of what those high school emotions are about sex,
Oh, okay.
things like that.
Yeah,
It's nice, man.
those shows are hard to come by.
Yeah. Atypical came out their last season a couple months back, and I never watched it because that show's so hard. It's so
Yeah, I looked at the trailer for that. I was just like, man, this looks like a challenge.
it'll get you. It'll get you.
Oh, Ted Lasso also wrapped up their last season. Oh, that show is so good, but also makes me mad now. Yeah,
I still need to watch it.
that's a good one. I'm considering putting on the Believe sign that's in front of I'm gonna put one of those on my door, just out of solidarity. It's a very good thing. Chris, what you watching?
Nothing new.
No.
No.
All right. Well,
I'm bad at watching stuff.
watching a lot of football.
Not really.
I feel like we've talked about football the past couple of times. So
I've just been trying to keep up with it a little bit now that I'm actually going to college games.
yeah,
Right.
college football is back in full effect.
Yeah, it is.
Wild things be wilding. Fantasy football is very frustrating, especially when 3 of your starters just like get injured in the first segments of the game. I'm like, oh, you got me 0.9 points. Damn it!
Well,
Can't change you out because I started you. And now I'm just gonna sit and watch my boy just dust me. purely based on the fact that his player just didn't get hurt. Very frustrating. Anyways, well, appreciate you boys. I definitely feel a little bit better than I did at the beginning of this, which is nice. Always an added plus of the podcast.
Huh?
But I appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully the rain has stopped.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, sounds like it. Everyone's been rocking with us all the way to the end. Appreciate y'all.